All right, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Enlightened Conversation. Really excited for today and to introduce you guys to today's guest. I have Brandon Brown, who is in Los Angeles, California right now. I like where he's recording this. He's up on the rooftop cool spot. And Brandon is in LA, and we were chatting before we came on here, and I'm excited for him to share some powerful, positive energy with you guys and some light. And without further ado, for me, I want to introduce you guys to Brandon. And Brandon, if you could share with the audience so they're more familiar with you, who you are, what you do, why you do it, all that good stuff.
Sure. Well, first, let me just say thank you, Noel. Thank you. Is it Noel or Noel? Am I saying it right?
Noel, like Christmas. Yep.
Awesome. Noel, thank you so much for having me. I want to say that first. And happy to be here, honored to be here. My name is Brandon Brown, also known as Pastor Funk. That's my artist name. I'm a musician, arranger, producer, actor, model, great guy, very creative person, very positive person, and that's what I do. I mean, music is how I've made my living, and I'm very happy for that. I never worked a job before, except for family business, which was construction. I used to build build foundations, and basements and stuff like that. So things that you have to be, you have to be humble and have a lot of fun in it in order to really get through those type of things. Because if you're out there with a bad attitude, it just makes that even worse. So it's good to have. I learned how to have that helped me to keep a good attitude in situations that I didn't want to be in. But doing construction, so foundations and stuff like that. I did the foundation to my dad's church. I didn't do it now. I helped in the laying the foundation, and so I learned how to do construction. It's work with concrete, which is why I'm a bass player. I'm a bass player as well. So which is the foundation of music. So it's funny that concrete and the bass are the same. You can't really have one without the other. Concrete, you build a building on it. Music, bass line, you build that off of it. So I have a nice understanding of how you have to have a solid rock to stand on to be built right. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I love what you said right there. You said something that anybody in the audience could benefit from, because I've been there. And you mentioned working in a job that you really could have easily had a bad attitude if you would allowed yourself to go there. And I think probably most people out there listening have some point of having to do something in life that they didn't really enjoy, or they knew they wanted to go. They knew they wanted to be doing something different. I've learned in life, and I had to learn the hard way for many, many years, was if we couldn't, at least have a positive expectation that what we wanted to be doing was going to, we would be able to evolve into that, when the timing was right. Maybe we didn't have it all figured out right here and now. But the positive attitude and staying at least in a place where you're open for opportunity, whether it be from another person. Because I know if you have a crappy attitude, nobody's going to want to talk to you or give you any type of opportunity. With a bad attitude over there. Just to being able to attract things to us that can help us on our journey. I think that's super important. And that's interesting. You just used with the foundation of music. I've always tell people that if the music has bass where I can feel it, then that's what I like. But the way you describe it as the foundation, that's really interesting. I didn't think of it that way. I didn't know how that worked out.
Yeah, that's been my philosophy for some years. I like to look, and that's how I view everything. Everything goes down to its lowest common denominator. That's how I think about everything. Foundation. What is the actual source of whatever it is? And I go to that, and then it's done.
Absolutely. You said something right before we started recording that I definitely want to touch on. And you mentioned that your dad is a pastor, and that you can see a different lane as far as religion and spirituality. Explain what you mean by that. I think that would be helpful and inspire some.
Yes. Well, the difference. Well, before I answer that question, just to give a little backstory. I am an ordained minister as well, and so so Pastor Funk is not just a clever name for my artist name. It really is something that I feel that I have a big call to do, which is to help people, just give them knowledge, help them understand how, to think about something differently. Maybe just give another opportunity to say, oh, I don't have to react to this way. This seems like maybe the worst thing that ever happened to me, like something I can't live without, and it's just taken, right, and without a warning or whatever. You can, if you've ever had that type of experience, you feel like maybe you want to do something ignorant, like take your own life or something stupid just off an emotion. It's like, wait, why do I feel like this when I know who I am? I know the power that's inside of me. I know what I've done in my life and my goals and aspirations. I see myself reaching them because I reach them every day. So why I can't allow something, a situation to drag me down to wanting to kill myself? That's retarded, right? So in the sense of a retarded with a thing, not in a disrespectful way, but just in a way of, it just doesn't make sense for you to have a reaction to someone else's actions or something's action that happens in life. And once you understand too that everything that happens, you attract it to you anyway. Once you really deal with it, once you really sit down and really be honest and really deal with yourself, look at your own self and what you did, how you could have made it better, then you say, oh, I did that. And then you're able to forgive yourself first, and then you can forgive any type of other situation, whatever situation you could have had or might have had or thinking about having. You don't even have to have those type of thoughts. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's a big one, what you just said, just knowing that we are what's attracting the experiences of our life. And that allows us to take so much responsibility for, I like to think of life as a movie, Brandon, and we're the main star of our movie. And if we don't like the movie that we're watching right now, we get to actually do something about it to create, to change it. And we might not know how exactly to change it right now, or exactly all the details of what the plot's going to be for the whole movie. None of us need to know that, because the synchronicities of life will take care of that. You'll meet people you never thought you would meet, didn't even know existed on the planet. Like Brandon, I didn't know you existed on the planet before a couple of weeks ago, which is awesome. Yeah. And then you have ideas and, different, you could be watching a YouTube video and be like, that's something that will help me on my journey. But one thing that, Brandon just mentioned, and it's so powerful, that we can know to be true is, whatever is going on consistently on the inside of you, from this moment and this moment and this moment, if it's a really, rough, negative, disempowering energy, your movie is going to reflect that. And, it's not going to be one that you probably want to go to the movie theater and see. That's your life and you're the star. The only way to really change that is starting with the internal energy. And, that's such a powerful, part of life, to be aware of that, because then it's full responsibility for, do I like the movie? And if not, let me change it.
Yeah, you ain't never lied. That's right. You ain't never lied, man. That's it. Everything you said.
You see why these conversations are so fun, because you inspired all that. So these conversations are fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
But
you talking that talk, man. That's it, man. That's really it. Like, that's what we're talking about now is going to be. That's what I know, and I believe in my heart is this will be the world conscious really soon. Like, it just won't be forward thinkers. It just won't be people who actually read and study and show themselves approved. It's not just those people. It's going to be soon, even though it doesn't look like it. I know it doesn't look like it now, but but it does look like it. If you see what we're doing now, that means it does. So we focus on that part. I believe that this is gonna be just the nationwide consciousness. That's what Pastor Funk. That's what I want to do. To help bring this to the masses, and that's what I put in my music. That's what my music is about. My music is not gonna have like it's not it's just nothing negative in it. And negativity seems to be the vibration of what's around, what's just really about. It's not just now. It's just it's always been around. It's just everything is highlighted because of the internet. So once you get past the emotional part of it and the spiritual, like look at it spiritually, that's how I view things. So like, and I know that that's what I'm here to do with my music, and so that's why I'll never stop going. That's why, like, no matter what, just gotta keep going, you know. And I like that. I love that. I love that a lot. And,
Absolutely, absolutely.
yeah.
I like how you just described that. And when it comes to music, and then I'm going to go back to the spirituality, religion topic real quick.
Yes.
I want the audience to be able to hear from you on this, and I'll share what I'm inspired to share on that. But when it comes to music, what I love about music and just creativity in general, you know, whether it be the arts or whatever it is you can feel the frequency that the music was created in. Like you're creating, and like you've set an intention to, you don't want a negative frequency, whether it be the words or,
Yeah.
you know, if you're in a crap mood and you go in there and you're like, you know, making the music, it might not come out the same as, you know, when you're just, in an inspired, you know, just loving place and just excited, passionate to do.
For sure.
And you could feel that as the listener. Like, I don't know how to create the music that you're creating, but I know when people ask me what kind of music I like music that just makes me feel good. Like I can hear the frequency that the artist put into it.
Totally.
All different genres, which is really interesting. And so I like that you mentioned that. If you want to add on anything on that, go for it, because you're the musician, and I'll go back.
Yeah. Well, I guess in the sense of why I do music, I can only focus on why I do it. I can't think or worry about why anyone else does what they do. I'm not comparing myself or thinking a way is right or wrong. None of this type of thing. I'm just saying, for me and why I'm here and why I love doing music, I want to feel good. I want to be happy when I listen to music. I don't want to feel mad. I don't want those feelings when I listen to music. It's just something I don't want for myself. It doesn't feel good to me. I never really liked it. You know what I'm saying? Even though for me, I've played on an Oscar Award winning song when I was 19. It's Hard to Hear for a Pimp. That's my baseline.
Wow.
It's Hard to Hear. That's me playing. So it's like that's how I'm able to separate things, because I'm like, I've had to work in this industry and had to like see what things are for what they are. Like how that even happened, that wasn't even a song. Like that movie, that music was used for this other thing that we did called Clean Up Man. It's an old Hypnotized Minds movie. Like, I'm from Memphis, Tennessee, so I've been blessed. I worked with Isaac Hayes when I was like 19 years old. I've had an amazing music career, but it's, you know, it's just been underground, which I'm thankful for that. It's been like, you know, pre-social media. I'm thankful for that, which means I really did it. I didn't have to pay nobody to go do it. It's just, I was on my path. I'm just so happy that I've had this amazing life that I had. I'm thankful for it, and I'm looking forward to continuing to grow. But what was I talking about? I kind of went off the subject.
With the music, the Oscar.
With the music, yeah, right. So imagine that, you know, being with 3 6, you know what I'm saying? But I know those guys. You might hear this like 3 6 Mafia and be like, oh my God, this is terrifying. But those dudes, it's just knowing them is just it's all art. It's art. It's not to be taken literal. You know, and at least I wasn't taking literal for me, especially since I know these guys and being around them and seeing how nice and giving that they are and how they talk about, this is my life. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Wow, that's impressive. I know exactly the song. I'm very familiar with everybody that you mentioned there just now. That's awesome. And yeah, it's a night and day difference between the life before social media, and because I think sometimes like, what are some things that I would have been inspired to create even more if I had this like social media platform to push it out, like YouTube and all this stuff. probably for the
I'm
best.
telling you.
I was one of the kids in college that I was in college in 2000, and I had the little handy cam. And
Yeah.
if you did something where it was in the public, no matter what it was, I had my camera. I didn't have anywhere to put it. So if you were around me at that time, you just be happy.
If you still got that stuff, man, you got gold in there.
I don't know where that stuff is.
I'm telling you, if you can ever find it, man, you good. That's funny. That's funny. Man, yeah, I've been putting out music since I was like 19. I got music from band I was in. The music is like killing too. It's so funny. It's so funny. And so like, it's just been a part of my life. My dad was in a band. My mom was in a band. They met because of like, my dad was the piano player in their college at UT Martin. In their college band, she was auditioning to be the lead singer, and that's how they met. And then bam. And so it's not surprising that they would have me and my little sister, and my whole family is all musical. Everybody. Like when we get together for Christmas and stuff, Thanksgiving, we really be singing. Like it'd be a whole concert.
Wow.
like for real. And I'm not kidding. Like I'm talking about people be getting down. My dad plays and sings, plays piano and sings as a songwriter. My mom sings and she's amazing. Her voice is incredible. So I mean, it's just what I come from. Also, my church when I was growing up had a full orchestra. I thought this was normal, that. So when I would hear a song on the radio, I would really think that, oh, this is what I heard this morning, because we had strings, horns. It was amazing.
That's definitely.
And my dad played the organ.
I've been to many Black churches, and they would always have piano, sometimes electric piano, somebody that occasionally played some type of, occasionally horn, but not most of the time not. And then you'd have somebody that normally played the guitar, string, and the drums. You always have the drum. I was in some big. I grew up in. I'm from Oakland, so I grew up in.
That's where the Hawkins are from. If anybody knows about Walter Hawkins, that's some of the coldest, funkiest music ever. Joel Smith on bass, and drums. I'm telling you, that's some of the baddest musicians ever came out of Oakland. And that church is called Olivet Baptist Church.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I went to Allen.
Granddaddy Red.
Allen Temple Baptist. All right. Nice. Well, I want to bring something up because I know that because I mentioned it, and I want to make sure that the audience gets this because I love that you're both sides of as far as you have a religious foundation in religion, being a pastor, and then also mentioning spirituality. And what I see brings all the world religions, all the spiritual teachings, everything together is that parts that are centered around love and that being who we truly are. And that's what connects us to call it God, call it universe, call it, all that is, the source energy, whatever you want to call it, spirit.
Yes.
There's love, there's teachings of love inside of everything. And then, in lots of different religions and different teachings, there also could be elements of control or fear or, all these things as well, which I think that's what turns people off a lot of times when it comes to the topic of religion or spirituality. So what's your take on that?
Take on how
on just how you would talk about religion or spirituality.
Okay, got you.
That stuff.
Okay, if I can okay, from a personal experience, when I was about 22, 23, I was in Russia, playing bass with Boyz II Men, all right? And it was crazy. We went to Red Square, and we go down there, and there's this, it's guarded. I'm talking about heavy military guarded. Like if you step over the line type of thing, they will shoot you. Wow. Seriously, they got the guns out, like on the roof. They got the guns. If you cross this line, they got every right to shoot you. We go inside the place. This is museum. I see all these paintings of these depictions of the Bible. I see the Last Supper. I see the birth of Christ. I see the crucifixion. I see all this stuff that's in the books, right? Like all the pictures. Everyone in the thing was painted black. Everybody. I was like, wait. And this was, like I said, I was 23. And this was before like any type of, the internet wasn't like this. So like information wasn't, like I always had this wondering like, things would be a certain way. And anyway, when I went in there, it just made me really think like, they're guarding all this stuff because I feel like they just took everything that they did and they just painted everything white and then retold the story in a whole nother way, told it to slaves and beat it into slaves to make us think this way, but not really teach us God and how Jesus and all this stuff really works in real life. It taught us the way they wanted us to know it, to totally brainwash us from what we really came from. That's what those paintings sparked in me. That's
and
what came
this
to
is
me.
Russia, you said?
I was in Russia, Moscow, one of the most notorious places of racism and all these type of things. I mean, they funded slavery and all these type of things. They pay for most of the things that's what people consider, terrible things in the world. For me now, I've separated those emotions that I had towards it, that all of that stuff, because I don't look at myself, even though I know I'm black and I'm happy to be black, I just look at spirit now. You got good people, not even good people. You got people who are in a good spirit and you got people who are in a bad spirit. I had to stop looking at it. So that's how I separated the religion. Like when I saw that, I was like, all this is bull. I was like, all these pictures, this is real. Like I didn't believe none of the pictures no more. I didn't believe in the story or none of these things that are really good things to know. And like I learned from watching this man, Reverend Ike, is the Bible is a book of psychology and not a book of theology. It's a mind book. It's a how to think book. It's not to be taken literal. Whatever's happening in the Bible, whatever happened to Jesus, how he did, that's just you. Whatever happened to anything in the Bible is you that's doing it. It's an emotion. It's a reaction. It's a reaction to events. It's not a literal thing. It's not a God in the sky that's waiting, that's looking down on you, judging you. It's not happening. And if you wait on Jesus to come back, he didn't already came back. He already did it. So you got to start living for yourself. You have to figure it out. You have to figure out how to get connected to it. And that's what I have done. That's what I've been able to separate the two. That's not those paintings weren't the only reason why. It's just that definitely kind of further confirmed things that I was learning to be able to talk like this now. Before I didn't know how to speak it. I didn't know what was going on. But now I understand.
You just said some powerful stuff right there, and I want to highlight one thing because I loved how your mind, and just shows your consciousness where you are right now. How you even corrected yourself when you started to label someone as good person versus bad person,
Right.
and you switched it to being in a good spirit or not.
Right.
I love that. I love you have the consciousness to do that. Because anytime I sense myself or hear someone labeling themselves or anyone else anything, it's just a great reminder for all of us that any label that we try to give to something, we're trying to label like an energy, a feeling, a vibration, a frequency, and it only could be in the moment. And so to even label yourself as I'm anxious or I'm depressed or maybe there are moments we're human where, right now we might be anxious or right now we might be depressed. That's part of the human. Right. But to label someone or ourselves anything ongoing, or that's just the way they are, this life is fluid. Like there's no way. So I love that you mentioned that, because that helps me have a lot of compassion for myself and for humanity, knowing that we're all capable of being, sad, depressed, angry, and we're all capable of being loving and, happy and joyful and everything in between. And that's the case for all of us. So I appreciate you being able to, that you being aware of that, because now you could, you don't have to, because now you can catch yourself if we ever find ourselves, any of us, judging someone or being critical of someone or ourselves. we could just know that, I'm just being critical. That's me. That's a reflection of me. Uh, so.
Totally, man. Totally. And that's what helped me. That's what helped me be able to forgive myself. And because it speaks about, Bible, it speaks about loving unconditionally. I'm not sure if it's how that's said it, but I know there's something about unconditional love. Just forgive me, it kind of slips my mind right now. But I know that's how I want to live. I want to be unconditional. I believe that that's how Jesus loves us, and that's how God loves us. It is unconditional. And so if that's the case, that means you got to love yourself that way. You got to be forgiving. You know what I'm saying? That's the most important thing. And so when you can say, like you said, people, it all changed. I changed. My life has changed. Yeah, I used to be, oh my Lord. I used to, at some point in my life, I was probably the most arrogant person in the world. Oh my God. At a point in my life, I'm sure just because I had talent. What is that? You know what I mean? That's like crazy. But that's what happens when you do powerful things and you realize maybe, oh shoot, I did something and these people reacted to it. They felt that. And so you think that it's bigger than really what it is, and that it's really for the people's enjoyment. It's not for you. That's how I look at music. That's why I know it's a ministry for me, because it's not for me. I just love it so much. But when I do it, it's for the people to be blessed. It's not for me. It's just that I'm gonna be paid for my time for doing it.
Absolutely.
That's the most beautiful part about it. I've been able to create value in that world. So I'm thankful for that. Happy to be on my path. I'm happy to be growing, continuing to keep going, because there's so many other dreams and stuff that I want to do, things that are coming. So keeping myself healthy in my mind and my body and my spirit, that's what it's all about, man.
That's awesome. You just said something that inspired me. It's going to help somebody in the audience so much. What I'm inspired to share now, because you just painted the picture of, just being aware of seeing yourself at a time in your life. And, we're all of us out there, we're going to evolve until the day we're no longer here. We're going to keep growing and learning. And especially when we're doing it on purpose and we're allowing it to happen, when we're not like resisting it anymore, because we know that it's going to happen, whether we're going along willingly or not. It's going to happen as far as learning because of life experience. But when you mentioned being arrogant at one time, but then when you describe how you evolved now, I sensed a humbleness, but then also a confidence. And this is what I want to share with the audience, because all of us, the same powerful energy that is flowing through Brandon is flowing through every single one of you out there listening. Now, Brandon has chosen his life experience because of what's passionate, what he feels called to do, what his gifts and talents are, to flow into music and everything else that he's doing. So he has a lot of life experience. And at the same time, he's flowing the same powerful energy, you can call it God, love, universe, all it is, whatever you want to call it, through his powerful life experience. And that's creating the amazing things that he's creating. For you listening, there's something else that your life experience is calling you to do, that you've had more life experience than probably 99% of the rest of us on the planet have, because that's what you're passionate about, that's what you enjoy. At the same time, throwing that same energy that Brandon's flowing into music into that, and you can have the creation of whatever you're creating at the same time. So we can be humble enough to know there's no special breed of human. Like, the same energy is flowing to and through all of us. And we can be confident knowing that the same energy is flowing through all of us, because if Brandon can go create awesome music, then you out there can go create awesome food if you're a chef, whatever it is, whatever it is that you feel passionate about doing. And so
that's true.
Yeah, no, that's awesome the way you explained that, just the self-awareness to be able to see that. And that's
man, thank you so much, man. I'm excited. That's another part of it too with the ministry. Like with my music, is to be able to. I want to go and speak to people. That would be where my pulpit is, really the stage. Where I'll be able to, say these things, and that's my vision. And I'm happy to be that is happening, because I'm doing it right now. And so I'm so excited about that. I'm happy to be living it now. I'm happy to be seeing it manifesting, but I'm learning too to not react to too many manifestations, because they happen all the time. Life is a manifestation. So it's like I'm learning, like, have my happy moment, but I give myself like maybe 10 seconds to have that like super surprise thing, and then I'm back to normal. you know, because I have to be expecting those things to happen all the time. You know, because things they get so specific now. Oh my goodness, everything I was saying or thinking, and it just boom is happening like specifically. And so like I know if I continue that, that's why I only talk about things that I do want. I don't talk about things that I don't want. And if I think about the past, I only think about the best times I ever had. Period. I don't think about no bad days. Nope. Because it's a choice. It's a choice. And I'd rather view all those situations, those people, when things were good. Because that's where the true essence was. And then ego and stuff gets involved, and then it just goes straight to hell. You know, that's how it happens. But when it's aligned and everyone's in a right mind and thinking right and working together, it's the most beautiful thing. You can work with anybody and create the most beautiful thing if you are just in one accord and able to communicate and able to let the person be who they are, give people space, you know, not take anything personally, like nothing. I don't care what it is. Don't take it personally. Because then what? You only be affected. The other person, they keep going on with their life like nothing ever happened. And you keep feeling this way because you took something personally. It's like, wait, you gotta stop doing it, because then you playing yourself. Then that's why I'm to be at so much peace, because I know no one or nothing can make me feel a way. Only I can do that. I'm making a choice to feel this way about this person or this situation. So why don't I choose to not? Let me choose the way that best serves me. That's how I think about it. And this way, you don't have to be feeling like a punk. You know, some people, especially guys, I don't know, or even women too. It's just a prideful thing. Well, I don't want to be like this. I ain't no punk. I ain't no this and that. Whatever it is, it's like, wait, that's just you. That's your ego. You know you're not that. So why are you even acknowledging that? You know.
Absolutely. You just said a lot of powerful things right there. Anybody out there to this on the full episode, you know, rewind and listen to that segment that Brandon just said again. And listen to all. He said so many different things that benefit anybody out there so much. I'll start with the first thing that you said, which I love, as far as you know, stopping to show appreciation and gratitude for the manifestations that happen in life. And at the same time, really realizing that life is just one ongoing manifestation.
Yeah.
So accurate. And then knowing that he needs to expect more and more and more to happen, because he's on this journey and he doesn't have the mentality of, and this is a lot of people out there get stuck in this, and I've been here for sure. I'll be happy when I get this manifestation that I want. That's a rough place to live life, because you still, once the manifestation comes, if it comes, because a lot of times we're blocking the synchronicities from, because we're not happy right now, and you know, you're not even close to the manifestation because you can't get there from being so miserable right now. But even if we do happen to get there, then we're like having it, and we're like, oh, this is not even as much as I thought it was going to be, and now depression comes in. A lot of stuff. So the expecting, you know, more to unfold, just enjoying the whole journey and being at peace the whole way through is so powerful. And then you said something else. I love that you're in music, because the music world, there's so much influence that you have with the youth and just with the people, and you being aware of all these things is so powerful. And mission
thank you.
Want to continue to impact, you know, in that way as well. Speaking. Awesome, because your story is just, and the things that you become aware of and the way that you story tell along the way, it's awesome. You said a lot of things. One more thing. Oh, okay. I was waiting for it to pop back. Anytime I lose my train of thought, I just stay in the same vibe that I was in, sharing.
That's important, man. That's smart.
I never.
Hey, that's very smart.
Because
I gotta do that.
Well, because a lot of times what we want to be is like, oh man, I just forgot what I was going to say. That's a whole different energy than when you got the thought. So you can't really find you from there. So I just keep talking, running my mouth, energy, and then it just pops back in every time.
Thank you for that one. Thank you for that one. My little trick for that is I always say nothing is ever lost.
For sure.
Nothing is ever lost. And then I just really,
Yep. but you said, which is so powerful because a lot of people can do this. And going back, the only time you think of the past is if it's really exciting times, things that you love.
Yeah.
Share with audiences is so important. The experiences that we've all had in the past leading up till right this moment of right now, all those experiences have already served us because we've gotten the lessons and the clarity from it. So we've gotten the things that we like, the things that we don't like. And with the things that we don't like, you can not do what Brandon said and go back in the past and think about all those things that were like the rough, challenging times. Unfortunately for anybody, one, that's going to make us feel like crap in the moment. Two, it becomes your right now energy. So basically you're carrying all those burdens with you to the only moment that really exists, which is right now. So now because your energy is messed up right now your life is going to be in these moments, you're not going to enjoy them. And you're open to synchronicities that you don't really want to experience finding you, which is something not to fear anybody, but that's just, it doesn't surprise me if synchronicities, things that we can't predict, happen to people, to humanity.
Yeah.
Their vibe is just off. You know, if you're angry or raging or blaming or worried, you're just vulnerable to physical illness, to different accidents, to different just random things that, so I love how you put that, because if we are going to go back in the past, the joyful things, I mean, it's always cool to think about anything that makes us happy and enjoyable. Yeah. That puts our right now vibe in a really cool place, and we can flow from there. But that's really, really important that you said that. That's a really,
thank you, man.
Yeah, that's a good way.
And that's only if, thank you. That's only if you got to think about the past. You don't have to think about it, but if you do, let it be something good. That's really it. That's the main point. Just, but then don't live in the past. Like, really, right now, that's the Eckhart Tolle told his With the Power of Now. That's a good one to read. And it's just reading. Really, that's the thing. Like, I've been studying so much, and then studying, and then it's happening, and then like staying like in tune with that, and knowing that we all create our own reality. We create it, man. Like you said, we're in a movie. We create our reality by choosing. When I say we create our own reality, and people say, "No, you don't." How? And then it's really simple. It's all about choosing.
Absolutely,
you know?
Absolutely.
Because whatever you're facing, it's definitely a choice that you are facing. It's a choice. And that's tough to hear, probably, because you're like, wait, no way. Because this person did this, and blah, 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 blah. You don't know. They did this. I know. Just boil it all the way down to the lowest common denominator. It's going to be you sitting right there. Sorry, that made me laugh. Sorry. That's funny to me. I gotta write that one down. That's funny.
No matter where you go, no matter what you do, the same thing remains. You were there.
Hey, man. Once you get that, it's like, oh.
That's awesome.
Okay, sorry.
When I mentioned the clarity thing, thinking about the past, immediately it popped back into my mind. I went on your, which I don't always do when I'm having these conversations, but I popped on Instagram story earlier. And you said you focus on 3 things every day. Fun was the first thing, which immediately caught my attention. Clarity and alignment. Fun, alignment, and clarity. And that's what you put on your Instagram story. And that popped back into my mind when I was mentioning already getting the clarity from the past experiences. So really not needing to go back. And then you just reminded me of the fun when you just...
I'm sorry. That was hilarious, man. Because it's so funny, because it's like, you put up all that blame. It's so much blame and so much, like, that's how, you know, the ignorance, you know what I'm saying? The pride is so strong. If you can let go of the pride. Like, Mike Tyson has a podcast, Hot Boxing with Mike Tyson. And anyway, he did this. He did 5 MEOs of DMT with this toad. He licked a toad. It's this toad that's in I think South America or something. He smoked the venom of this fermented venom from this toad.
Jeez.
And he said it took him on the craziest trip. He said he lost his whole ego. You know, he said his whole entire ego is gone. And he's like, man, who was I ever to think I was this? So I was so in my pride and all this stuff. I mean, we talking about Mike Tyson, where like I'm like a big Mike Tyson fan, and because he like was ruthless out here in this world. Like he was doing whatever, whenever he wanted. Like it just didn't matter. But like in the ring and like as his training and then like everything he did, he was like unmatched. But when his trainer died, when Cus D'Amato died, it just his life went on a spiral. He had no one to really help him reel that in. And so he had the keys to whatever door he wanted in America at that time, where there was no social media. He had all this money. He's a black guy in this world, boxing, knocking people out, you know, so he lived that life for real. So this thing, I wouldn't recommend anybody doing it. I thought about doing it when I heard it. I was like, wait, I can just do this spiritually. I was like, wait, I can say, just look, your ego, just lose that. And now he's in such a peaceful state. I don't know if you've seen Mike Tyson lately, but I mean, his life is totally changed. He's a whole like family guy. He's like taking care of himself. He's not out there going crazy and just causing havoc in the world. Like he to calm down, but he's still Mike Tyson. But he's in a sense of he's not actively pursuing the demise of somebody. Like he was like, I don't care. He was on it, you know, so he's not like that anymore. So that's good.
I have noticed a calmer, gentler Mike. I'm going to look for that, for him talking about that, because I haven't heard the story about the toes.
I'm going to send you the link, bro. You're going to be like, wow. And when you see him, you're going to be like, wow. It's just really interesting to hear him talk now. And he'll just be crying and stuff, be all apologetic. You know, because it's just really interesting to see. And plus, once you get to that level where you, especially in finance, it comes with a knowledge. Then at that point, you start to understand a lot of things. You really see things for what they are. So when he's like, "Oh man, wow," he's saying, "Oh, it was me the whole time." That's what he realized.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I'm gonna see if you guys have any questions, that those of you guys that are watching this live, ask them now. I'm gonna come on here and see if anybody has asked any questions on these different streams. Let's see. But definitely want to ask you, Brandon, in a second. We've been doing it the whole time, but I want to ask you just anything that is. We'll let that siren go by. Perfect timing too. Anything that is like flowing out of you that you just want the audience to know, that you feel will impact them or uplift them. I always make sure I ask people that, and just anything that comes out. If you guys are watching live and have any questions, ask them now, and then I'll check it here again at the end.
Well, hello to anyone that's watching, and everyone that will see this eventually. I would say, focus. Say to focus on what you want in life. Don't focus on the things that you don't want. If it's something that doesn't serve you, don't focus on that, because you get what you focus on. So focus on the things that you really want to do. If it's something that you and really figure that out too. I think that might be really hard for people. People might not know what they want to do. It's a really simple question. What do you really want to do? And once you figure that out, then do that. And do whatever that takes. That's what I would say. It's real simple. I would say that. Figure out what you really want to do for real. What would make you so happy? You know, and then do it.
Absolutely. That's great advice. Great advice. That goes back to I love the movie. What movie would you want to see yourself star in? And if right now you would walk out of the theater on your own movie, then let's change that. Because that's you, that's your life. No matter what people believe out there to be true, yeah. I've never heard anyone say that they've seen, like, nobody's probably going to say that they've seen Noel walk around here before or again. Whether we return and live, spirit-wise, again, who knows? Not important for right now. I've never heard of the same shell of us coming back and doing this life again. So Yeah, like what Brandon just said, create a movie that you want to see. And if you don't know clearly right now, the good news for everybody is the more life experience. That's why I'm so pro, just life experience and just experiencing more things, because that's going to show you, that's going to give you the clarity that you mentioned. It's going to, you're going to like it or you're not. And then you have another direction to go to. So, no, that's really, really good advice. I love that. And you're living.
Thank you, man.
And
I'm doing my best. Yes, sir, I am. Thank you.
Yeah. No, I ask myself that question more and more, and the things that I put together and create are to answer that question. And I don't always, and a lot of us, we don't always know the answer exactly when we ask the question. Most of the time we don't. But if we're just open to enjoying the moment, not thinking about, I'll be happy when, all that stuff we just talked about, then the answers will come to us when we're ready to actually use them and then apply them in our life. And I didn't even know how to create a podcast. And so I was like, it'd be cool to create a podcast. This is a way to just talk to people like Brandon that I would want to talk to anyway. But just the fact that we get to because of technology and share it to people, we're living in a really cool time in 2020.
We are.
Yeah.
I love it.
2020 is crazy to even say.
I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful. It's all good, man. It's cool. I'm so happy that this happened. This is a good thing to have, and that it's recorded, because there's definitely some gems in there that I want to hear for myself. So I was like, oh, okay, nice. Remember those things.
I'm happy you just said that, because it's cool when two people that are, especially if two people come together and they have a desire to impact one another or anybody else that might be listening, or maybe they're just brainstorming ideas that could help maybe a team that they're, overseeing, or a group that they're in, or whatever it is. When two energies come together, where those energies can go, because of, you might not have thought of something if the other person hadn't said something. And, you guys seen this the whole episode. This is what's cool about sharing plans with, so many people, is all you really have to do is control what you can control. The only thing is, what energy are you bringing? If
That's very true.
Want to make a difference, want to make an impact, then it's a great energy to bring it to any life experience. And then anybody that chooses to come interact with you from that place, you guys can go places together that you wouldn't really have gone, by yourself. So that's awesome.
Yes, sir.
Definitely, I'm happy to now be connected with you, Brandon. You guys follow Brandon on social media. You guys will see all of his links here in the description, and be able to see what he's doing. Because whatever you choose to do, I already know it's going to have the same energy you brought today inside of it, the passion and love, and it's going to be awesome. Whatever it is that you put your attention on. So,
thank you. My band, we have a show January 20th. If anybody's going to be in LA, January the 20th. Downtown LA at the Tubman Ballroom. If anybody's going to be in Los Angeles, the Brandon Brown Collective, the BBC, that's the name of the band. That's where you can find us on IG is _BBC_. And then my IG is Pastor Funk, @PastorFunk.
Awesome.
And
awesome. You guys look in the description. You'll see both of those links. And I'm excited for everything that's evolving for you, Brandon, and appreciate you.
Thank you, Noel. Same to you, man. Thank you.
I appreciate
Congratulations on the podcast. It's really awesome. Thank you so much. And keep much success to you and all your dreams and everything you're doing, man. Keep going.
I appreciate it.
Can't wait to, when I'm performing in Florida, you got to come to the show.
I 100% will. And I'll get out to LA here soon as well. Cool. Thank you guys out there for listening to another episode of Enlightened Conversations, and definitely make sure you share this episode with anybody that popped into your mind while listening. No coincidence. You could definitely inspire and uplift them by doing so, and continue to rate and review and subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll keep doing these powerful episodes with other awesome humans like Brandon. And, appreciate you guys all out there. Happy New Year. I think I'm going to say that all year.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Happy new decade. Happy New Year. Happy new decade. All good stuff.
Yeah. Sending you guys all positive vibes. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Yeah. All right. Later.
That was cool, Brandon. I appreciate you, man.
Thank you so much. Hey, thank you, Noel. Thank you.